This is absolutely incredible. Like, seriously, when I opened up this chapter of One Punch Man, I read this, I was like, yo, did this just happen? Did we just legit see this beautiful moment between Tatsumaki and Saitama? And I want to point something out. With all the feats that this man is doing and winning over Tatsumaki's heart potentially, he is doing all of this in Crocs. Like, literally, look, take a look down in the bottom of the page. You will see Saitama. He's doing all of this with Crocs. My man is risen right now. Like, dude, he's got the riz. I love it, dude. I absolutely love this chapter of One Punch Man. So let's dive headfirst into it. Let's talk about this chapter. Let's talk about what's been going on and just how amazing this arc is looking for One Punch Man. So obviously, I gotta start off. I gotta talk about this Tatsumaki scene. Like, this is a very good scene. Obviously, there's gonna be a lot of fan art, etc. made of this scene for obvious reasons. But one thing in particular that I really like about this scene is the actual, I guess, interesting facial depiction of Tatsumaki here. When you look at her face, it's in shock. And obviously this entire scene is very comedic. You can laugh at this. It is just straight up a very funny scene. But when you take a step back and you think about, let's say, Tatsumaki as a character, her origin story, what she's been through, what this arc is kind of setting up with her wanting to kind of get back at this group and all that, basically, we know she hasn't really gotten to experience a lot of love and affection in her life. She is someone that has basically been kind of isolated, so to speak. And no one's kind of been near her level, so to speak, as well, that she's encountered. And so, encountering someone like Saitama that's literally, like, able to resist her power throughout this chapter, not being knocked back and all that, and you just see Saitama literally just stop her, grab her, and is like, hey, we gotta get out of here. Goes through the roof and launches her outside for there's no more destruction. It's a very funny scene, but it's Tatsumaki facing reality of, like, finally someone is being able to talk with her and understand maybe her power to a certain degree as well, like in terms of level of strength. But let's get a little bit deeper here, okay? So one big thing is that there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be shipping these two characters. Because if there is one thing that people have done, I noticed, throughout One Punch Man, ever since, like, Fubuki was introduced, Blizzard, I remember people were saying Saitama Blizzard, they're gonna get together. But now that we see basically Tatsumaki with this moment, people are like, oh, the other fans, the other ships, they're in shambles. They are absolutely in shambles because of this chapter. They're on life support, so to speak. It's funny. It's legitimately funny. Now, okay, so let's actually talk about the serious nature of this. So, Tatsumaki, obviously, she's potentially going to find attachment to Saitama. That's what I think this moment really is going to represent for her character, pushing aside the memes and all that type of stuff. I think this will definitely open up her heart a little bit and allow her to kind of maybe talk more with Saitama, see him as a better friend, and maybe, who knows? I mean, according to what I found out from webcomic readers, this is a scene that webcomic readers have been waiting for a very long time. Don't quote me on that one. But the point is that if this is indeed true, I mean, this might be the reason for maybe who Saitama ends up with or something. I mean, maybe Tatsumaki and, Saitama get together or something. Who really knows? But the point is that, I think that this scene is definitely going to allow Tatsumaki to become a little bit more connected and open in a group. I think that's beautiful. I think this will definitely lead to a lot of character development for her going forward. Absolutely beautiful scene. So let's back up. Let's take a look at kind of what this chapter was setting up. Basically, Saitama, he is in the middle of a situation, basically, with this group, this very shady group that has a lot to do with, like, Tornado, aka, Tatsumaki, and how she was in prison for a while, and she's trying to get, someone that is also, a Esper, which we saw fought Tatsumaki in the previous arc with the whole Garo stuff, and, the Monster Association. We see Tatsumaki trying to get her out of there. Her name's Psychos. And basically, we just see that he's in the middle of this. He doesn't really know what's going on, and obviously, because of the situation, Saitama actually got pulled into it, and now Tatsumaki's going to come face to face with just how strong Saitama actually is. And I think this is very important, because what this arc is basically setting up is that everybody's starting to realize how strong Saitama is. He is not a no-name individual. He's not someone that you could just, sweep under the rug. He is someone obviously incredibly powerful. And I think this is a nice change to the story. This is a nice direction for One Punch Man to take, because let's be honest here, is how funny it is Saitama is obviously ranked as like maybe a C, A, B class hero, not an S class hero or even above that, etc. How funny that is. It's still annoying when he does all these crazy feats. He takes out these super creatures and monsters and whatever, and he's not really recognized for what he's doing, especially when he's continuously interacting with people, let's say, like Silver Fang, or someone like, King, Tatsumaki, Blizzard. When you think about that, he should be more recognized. More people should know about him. And so, now seeing this arc kind of shifting into gear, more people are knowing who Saitama is or capable he is. They're now watching him more closely. It's hints that maybe the reason why God, the enemy of this manga right now, is coming to this world is because of Saitama, potentially. All these little things that's been going on, I really do like it. The direction of the story right now is really interesting. It's basically setting up the in-game fight of the story, because if we had to assume anything by the way this is all being kind of built up, especially with these past few arcs, is that the final fight probably of the story is going to be Saitama versus God. That's what's going to happen. That will be the final fight. And the reason why, God's starting to be more active within this dimension is because of Saitama, and however he broke his limiter. Whatever the case may be, how that actually happened, however he broke his limiter is the reason why God is actually messing with the realm even more so than how he was in the past. But getting back on topic though, I think that more people becoming aware of him, his power, is definitely going to be something that people are just not going to be able to look away from anymore. And I think this is very important because, a lot of people, I think, after the Garo arc was a little bit upset that Saitama beat Garo, and everybody kind of forgot their memories because time got reset, obviously, and Garo doesn't really know who beat him. Saitama doesn't even remember what happened, and so obviously not everybody really got to see that besides Genos. But thankfully, thanks to, the whole device recording everything, some of that information was obviously able to be told to others. Genos shared it with the whole class, basically, of all the heroes, the top heroes. Not all of them listened, but some of them did, which I think does open the door up for Saitama to be more recognized. I think before everything is said and done with this arc, Saitama might move into S-Class. We gotta think about this. There's set up that Silver Fang, he is someone that is stepping down. We saw that he resigned, and it's being implied that Garo is going to be taking his place. But at the same time, it's potentially possible that they might add another S-rank hero as well, which Saitama will eventually join in. Which, speaking of which, there was a hint at something, especially with that, with the resignation and all that, and the new S-Class hero coming in. The hint was that Garo was going to be setting up a fight, fighting all the S-Class heroes back to back and all that, seeing who really was strong and who actually beat him and all that. And obviously, if Saitama steps into the ring, Garo is probably going to get one shot, which in turn might allow him to remember who beat him, which I would love that direction as well. But, yeah, so there's, a lot of setup that's been going on, but mainly, it seems like right now the arc is trying to focus more on Tatsumaki and Blizzard, and I think that's fine, because we do need a lot of development with them, since they have a big connection, a huge connection with Blast. We know that, and Blast has obviously become a very important character for the story, especially how he's, kind of been fighting God in a solo battle for a very long time. Him stepping into the spotlight means that Tatsumaki needs to follow, because she obviously is connected with him in the past. So when we find out more about Tatsumaki, we might find out more about, Blast. It'll lead to a lot of character development and characterization for these characters, so it's a great direction overall for, One Punch Man. So yeah, this chapter legitimately is amazing. It has the standard stuff that you would expect from One Punch Man. It has the beautiful art, it has the great character interactions, it has the funny comedy, as you can see right here, as Saitama's muscles are really just going up and down and vibrating. It's legitimately good. It's a good chapter, and I love what this chapter is. There's great little setup moments as well with other heroes and all that, finding out more about Saitama, wondering why he's so strong when they never heard anything about him. just, yeah, all the stuff I just talked about, you get to see throughout this chapter, and honestly, I can't wait for the next chapter. It can't come soon enough, because honestly, with this, like, this cliffhanger here, I need to know what's going to happen. Like, I need to know Tatsumaki's reaction and what she's going to say to Saitama, because obviously Saitama isn't letting her go, and he's just launching her to somewhere else that's not going to destroy buildings, etc. I wonder how she's going to feel about that. It's going to be fascinating. I can't wait to see the direction that One Punch Man goes in the following chapter. But, I guess I'll leave it at that. I wanted to talk about my overall thoughts, because, like, man, what a chapter. What a chapter of One Punch Man. Absolutely excellent. And, yeah, oh, yeah, this moment, by the way, is legit funny. Like, this is one of my favorite moments, how the monsters and all that come out of the, like, doorway, and then you see the heroes look at the monsters and are like, ah, nah, and they just close the door. It's funny. That's legitimately a funny scene. I had a good chuckle when I saw this in the chapter. But, okay, I guess I'll leave it at that. Like I said, I wanted to tell my brief thoughts on the chapter. I felt like it was worthy of it, especially with just, like, you know, this moment. It's just, a moment alone is what I wanted to talk about. But, anyways, be safe, stay healthy, Chibi out.